In 2007, I remember talking to a VA manager about numerous vacancies for medical and mental health professionals in spite of available funding. Medical professionals seemed to be elusive when the VA was searching. In 2017, I was told the VA could not find a dentist to do a root canal, ostensibly because the dentists were unwilling to wait overly long periods to be reimbursed by the VA. The in-house dentists were struggling to whittle down a backlog created by unwilling outside private dentists. Now, I may be hasty in my conclusions because it seems to me to be a case of providing excuses instead of providing quality medical care. Then again, it may be a management problem requiring a change of personnel managers. Now, my memory has not deserted me yet, so I remember no lack of eagerness from officials in engaging in the war with Iraq and Afghanistan. I remember no lack of funding for bombs, planes, and war materials. I remember no lack of contractors to spend that funding. I also remember no lack of think tanks to provide the stacks of position papers, to provide public opinion papers, and to provide guidance concerning every contingency possible for the outcome of the wars. Evidently, there was no lack of willingness to fund and execute the war on the part of think tanks and government officials. I have read that the foreign aid budget for the U.S. amounts to about $369 billion. That money goes to helping foreign nations. So, it is safe to say that the funding and the expertise are all available. Now let's apply some of that funding and expertise toward the hiring of medical professionals for the VA. The funding and the expertise are available. The ingredient lacking at the present time seems to be willingness or ability to put the total package together. Perhaps we could encourage all of these think tanks to cooperate in brainstorming a workable solution to the shortage of medical and mental health professionals at the VA. American ingenuity, if you will. If we continue the momentum of the current war tendencies, there should be no lack of wars for the foreseeable future. Therefore, there should be no lack of veterans for the foreseeable future. A perfect supply and demand situation. Furthermore, the think tanks could combine their talents in a constructive solution, as opposed to a death and destruction solution. The visual image of all these entities cooperating in a constructive solution makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. To prime the pump for the think tanks, I suggest funding a medical school program aimed at supplying doctors and dentists and requiring a period of 4 or 5 years service to the VA. There would be a permanent supply of doctors for a permanent supply of veterans. During times of war, these same medical professionals could put the veterans and civilians back together again. Some might call it the Humpty Dumpty solution. What's more, all the king's men and all the king's horses could still play with their high-tech toys of war.